My name's Cheryl Woodard. This is CW Ranch. This is a small farm that I'm operating in Salmon Creek, Humboldt County.
About the strain, are these all sour diesel then where it's standing in?
No, this is blueberry diesel here. There's some sour diesel in the back. Those are smaller.
You were talking about your genetic program, so you're actually breeding these different strains together or keeping one strain strong, or both?
I'm working on 3 separate strains currently and breeding those, keeping those separate. So I'm breeding them back to themselves. I'm not mixing them because I want consistency. So yeah, I'm working on consistency, structure, potency, disease resistance, and something that's adapted to the local climate and geology.
So Cheryl, I noticed that you had some biodynamics here. Can you tell me about your inspiration for this, or?
What I have here is kind of a polyculture. I'm working on experimenting with cannabis and growing different plants kind of among and around the cannabis plants. Polycultures are good for keeping the diversity in the garden space around the farm. So here I have some pepper plants, some marigolds. The peppers seem to do really well with the cannabis.
So the marigolds are not only bringing in pollinators, but it's a natural pyrethrum, so it's a pesticide in 2 different forms then.
Yeah, natural insect repellent, beneficial for the pollinators or the bees. The bees love it, so if the bees love it, I love it.
That's
I
great.
try to get some flowers in, herbs, different vegetables. Corn, you know, the Native Americans were growing corn, beans, and squash. Here we have cannabis, beans, and squash.
I'm Ecomonthly ecologist Boyd Smith, and when I'm not a guest of foreign governments studying ecologies older than the Ice Age, I live in Northern California's Emerald Triangle, the largest, oldest, and most prolific cannabis region in the world. I started my sustainable environment company in the 90s, and a lot of my clients were the old growers that came up here in the 1960s and 70s, and they were older and they needed help. And they got me involved with CAN, and that's where I met Dennis Peron. And he really inspired me with his compassionate aspect of the use of marijuana, and introduced me to quadriplegics who needed help and wanted to use herb instead of morphine. And so I started building grow rooms and large-scale outdoor collective medicinal grows, and they just needed the help, and I couldn't look away, and I never looked back.
My name is Dennis Peron. I'm the author of Proposition 15. I collected 500,000 signatures, and yeah, 1.5 million signatures to put it on the ballot in '96. I began Prop 215 in 1990. They had no place to be, a meek. They had no place to get marijuana. Marijuana helped them so much. It wasn't just the munchies, which is a funny word, but the nausea, and it made them feel better. As There's no drug that makes you feel better than marijuana. It was through that 96 period that I realized that marijuana is a medicine for everybody. In the middle of the war on drugs, in the belly of the beast, I did what they said that couldn't be done. I started a club for those people, and I put myself at great risk. So for those people, I started a club in San Francisco, fully understanding that I could go to jail for this, but there are some things worth going to jail for, and this I felt was worth it. If I went to jail to protect sick and dying people, well, so be it. And let me spend my time in prison, and let America see what they're doing. And my part of me was to expose this war on drugs for what it really is, which is a war on patients, war on people, war on the most wonderful people in America, the most thinking and loving people in America, the people that smoke marijuana. My name is Dennis Peron. I'm the author of Proposition 15. You could say that that is the beginning of the end of the war on drugs. And it did change the world.
It is the first use permit since the city adopted its retail cannabis sales and service ordinance after the state legalized cannabis for adult use.
My name is Nicholas Matthews. I have been the owner of Pacific Paradise since 1996. It has been there since 1971. For 48 years now, that store's been in that same location. The question of armed guards, I do not intend on having armed guards in our front door, ever. If it's required by the state, then I will fulfill those requirements. But Pacific Paradise has always been a very friendly, a very inviting city, town, store, and I do not intend on having guns in there, ever.
Okay, anybody else from the public like to speak on this item?
My urge is that you consider waiting. I don't really think there has been enough time. What I hope you'll do is postpone a decision. I've lived here 54 years, and I really am in support of the idea of retailing cannabis, just not in downtown Arcadia, just not in downtown. Postpone a decision.
Not in downtown, postpone a decision. Not in downtown, postpone.
Some of the people mentioned how long it's been and that it's finally here. And I had to laugh. I dug this out and wore this just for tonight. I was here 21 years ago in this room getting the first clinic permit in Humboldt County, in the Emerald Triangle. Clinic 215. And so, yeah, we might remember it. And so, it's not a new story.
There has been enough time.
All allow security operations shall not include firearms, including armed guards.
So I'll make a motion to approve use permit for Pacific Paradise.
Do we have a second?
A second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion.
Hey, congratulations. Well done. My pleasure, yeah.
We're going to hear more stories from the Emerald Triangle in the next episode. We're also going to talk about homegrown. And we're going to use a high-tech app to find cannabis. And what we found surprised us. We're also going to follow the life of a clone and play a new game, What Do You See? And so much more.
Harvest time. Tahoe cookie. Tahoe cookie is what this is called.